you're not invited, even after I paid for the whole trip. Character, Madison Clark, age 35, Colorado, present day. Honey, about the cabin trip next month. My mom's voice hesitated during our usual Sunday call. The way she dragged her words told me something wasn't right. Claire thinks it's better if you skip it. She wants it to feel more intimate. Claire, my younger sister. The one I helped through grad school, the same sister whose so-called intimate family trip I had just bankrolled with a $9,200 0 cents deposit on a luxury lodge near Aspen. Intimate? I repeated, my tone calm even though I felt the sting. Mom, I paid for the entire lodge. I know, sweetie, and we're really grateful, but Claire's bringing Logan and she just feels like your presence might complicate the vibe. Complicate? I echoed, feeling the familiar burn of being sidelined. My name's Madison Clark. I'm 35, a geologist with a federal research agency, and I've just been disinvited from the vacation I paid for. Irony? That's putting it kindly. There's also the cats, Mom added quickly. You know how pricey pet sitters are now. We figured you could help by staying home and watching them. So I was good enough to fund the trip and pet sit, but not good enough to be in the family group photos. I glanced at the confirmation email for the lodge. Non-refundable. Of course. Then a text buzzed in from Claire. Mom told you, right? Don't take it personally, but Logan and I are trying to keep things elegant. Your whole lab coat energy kind of clashes. Hope you understand. Claire. Her boyfriend of 4 months, apparently more welcome than her own sister. Another message, this one from Dad. Maddie, you're always our rock. We need someone responsible to hold down the fort. Let Claire have this moment. Claire was always the star, the stylish one, the influencer. I was the science nerd with dusty boots and a backpack full of rock samples. They never missed her fashion shows, but skipped every science conference I ever presented at. I opened my laptop and pulled up my bank app. The lodge charge stared back at me. $9,200, 0 cents gone. I wasn't angry anymore. I was done being the responsible one who stayed behind. And this time, I wasn't going to ask permission to shine. Beyond the lodge deposit, I could trace years of transactions that told a clearer story. One of quiet sacrifice. Claire's grad school tuition. Mom's hospital bills after her hip replacement. The emergency loan to Dad when COVID nearly shuttered his contracting business. They never paid me back. Not that I'd asked them to. Family helps family, they always said, especially when they were the ones needing help. Another ping. Group chat from Claire. A stream of photos, champagne glasses beside clawfoot tubs, fireplace views, spa packages. Can't wait, Logan's going to love it. Mom and Dad get the master, obviously. Tom and Sarah snag the lake view. Logan and I called the Sunset Suite. Sarah? My cousin? The same Sarah who still hadn't repaid the $3,000, 0 cents I lent her for her Bali wedding last spring? Apparently she made the guest list. I did not. I glanced around my home office. Awards lined the walls. National Science Innovation Medal. Distinguished Field Research Honor. Rocky Mountain Preservation Leadership Award. None of them mattered as much as Claire's latest collab with a skincare brand, or her curated reels of brunches and filtered sunsets. I hovered over my keyboard, tempted to remind them who made this trip possible, but instead I typed, "No problem. Enjoy." Claire replied instantly, "You're the best. Oh, and can you water Mom's plants while we're away?" Of course, why not add house sitting to the list? I closed the laptop and walked to the window, the Denver skyline glowing under twilight. 10 years of being the fallback, the one who came through, the one who never asked for anything in return. This trip was supposed to be a turning point. I'd researched the best hiking trails, even coordinated with a local reforestation group to give my family a tour. The lodge had a west-facing bluff perfect for photos at dusk. I thought, maybe this time, they'd see me. But Claire rewrote the script, and once again, everyone played their part. One final buzz. "Mom, again. We'll bring you back a souvenir." And don't forget, Rocky needs his arthritis meds twice a day. You're such a blessing, Maddie, always so helpful. A blessing. More like a convenient backup plan. The dependable daughter, the invisible one with the checkbook. I walked over to the bookshelf and unlocked the small filing cabinet tucked beneath it. From the bottom drawer, I pulled out a folder labeled Property and Contracts. Inside was something no one in my family knew about. Something that would make their little mountain retreat less cozy. Maybe it was time they learned what happens when you take your blessing for granted. In the days leading up to the trip, I watched their enthusiasm spill across the group chat. Claire posted daily outfit flatlays for her Mountain Glam lookbook. Sarah uploaded screenshots of the spa services she booked, using the lodge credit I provided. Mom tagged Logan in Pinterest pins of rustic kitchen table settings, gushing about the intimate dinners she was planning. No one seemed to think it was odd that the person footing the bill wasn't invited. I spent the week making calls, confirming details and finalizing adjustments, each move sliding neatly into place like a well-aligned data model. The lodge manager had been especially helpful after reviewing the documents proving I was the sole payee. "Ms. Clark," she said, "as the reservation holder, you have full rights to adjust or reallocate the booking. Would you like to proceed?" "Oh, I'd like to make a few changes," I replied. The morning of their big departure, my phone lit up with chipper messages. "Claire, brunch at Mom's before we hit the road. Logan's pumped. You're an angel for watching the house, Mads." Sarah. "Bags packed, ready for a week of indulgence. You're seriously missing out." "Missing out?" I smiled. Once I was sure they were well on their way, I made one final call to the lodge. The manager confirmed everything had been processed according to my instructions. "Perfect," I said. At exactly 4:30 p.m., the moment they were supposed to check in, my phone erupted with notifications. "Claire, wait, they split us into separate units? What happened to the main lodge?" "Sarah, why is Jake and Claire's suite now a twin bunk room? What is going on?" Then came the call from Mom. "Madison, thank goodness, there's been a mistake. They've got us all in individual cabins, no shared kitchen, no sunset view suite. Claire is beside herself. This was supposed to be her moment." I leaned back in my chair, Rocky curled in my lap, the Denver sun setting in amber streaks. "Oh no," I said, voice calm. "Did you ask the manager?" "I'm sure they can explain. After all, only the reservation holder can make changes." And that, of course, was me. If you've ever been the responsible one watching from the sidelines, hit subscribe, because what Madison does next will change everything. I kept Mom on the line while I stroked Rocky's fur and watched Denver's evening light fade across the skyline. "Actually, Mom, the reservation is exactly as I modified it last week," I said. Silence. "Modified?" she finally managed. 5 separate cabins, 1 per couple or single. The main lodge is now booked to another party." Another pause. I could almost hear Claire's inhale. "Why would you do that?" "Because I wasn't invited to your intimate family trip. I figured real intimacy means not sharing a kitchen. Claire and Lovin get plenty of aesthetic privacy. Sarah and Tom can chase their spa packages without group dinners. You and Dad can relax without worrying about seating charts." "That's not what we planned," Mom said weakly. "Claire wanted everyone together." "No, Claire wanted everyone she approved of together," I said. My phone buzzed. "Claire, way to wreck this. Logan's freaking out. This isn't what I promised." I switched to the group thread. "Relax. These cabins actually cost more than the shared lodge. Consider it an upgrade. On me. Family helps family, right?" Sarah, petty. "Madison, we'd have invited you if you weren't so intense." I attached images. Tuition transfers, hospital payments, COVID bridge loan docs, Sarah's Bali wedding wire. Caption, "Weird. I wasn't too intense when you needed funding." The chat went still, even Claire. Mom called back, voice smaller. "Honey, we never meant to hurt you. Claire thought..." I know, Claire thought. Claire needed. That's always the story. I poured iced tea and reopened the email chain with the lodge manager just to savor the paper trail. Each cabin reassigned under my authority. Charges intact, so no one could scream fraud. The main lodge, released. then rebooked at a discount block rate to the reforestation nonprofit I consult for. Their grad students will hold nightly data briefings in that gourmet kitchen Mom loved. Boundary setting with receipts. Meanwhile, I confirmed my own post-week stay. A high alpine research resort outside Telluride. Private cabin, hella drops to my climate sampling plots. The family that never had time to hear about my work will see it in next quarter's congressional climate update. I set the phone to silent. Rocky rolled, unconcerned. Brochure on my desk, dates circled. My week. Before bed, I scheduled a series of automatic transfers. No more open credit lines tied to their accounts. Scholarships I'd earmarked for Claire, now redirected to a field fellowship fund in her name. She can explain that on Instagram. I drafted notes for a video debrief I'll record after their trip. Numbers, receipts, and why boundaries matter. This time, mine to tell. All of it. Sometimes, the best family memories are the ones you make on your own. My phone kept buzzing. Texts, missed calls, group chat drama, but for the first time in years, I felt no pressure to answer. They wanted intimacy, and now they were getting 7 days of it, just not the way they imagined. By day 3, their messages shifted from rage to mild desperation. Claire. Logan and I can barely move in this cabin, 0 storage. He's sleeping on top of his duffel bag. Sarah. Ugh, this uphill walk to the dining lodge is killing my feet. Why aren't we all eating together like planned? Mom. Photo of a cramped dining nook? See how much space we have for one more? It's not too late, sweetheart. Meanwhile, I was in my backyard garden sipping a Cabernet, watching the city lights flicker beneath a pastel sky, when Dad called. Princess, he began, that old mediator tone slipping into his voice. I think this got off on the wrong foot. Claire feels awful. She didn't mean to leave you out. She just wanted things perfect for Logan. Perfect for Logan, I repeated. A man she's known for 4 months was more important than your daughter. His silence said everything. You know, Dad, I added, swirling my glass. While I was organizing receipts, I came across the $42,000 0 cents transfer. Remember that business loan you needed during COVID? The one the bank rejected? Madison, that's ancient history. Maybe to you, but that was my house fund. I gave that money without a word. You never even told Mom it came from me. She still thinks you got approved. He had nothing left to say. Don't princess me. I'm done being the silent donor in family slideshows I'm not even invited to. After hanging up, I noticed a new email from the lodge. Claire had tried to charm the manager into letting them switch cabins or reclaim the main lodge, offering to pay extra. He'd responded with a polite reminder. Only the booking holder could authorize changes. That evening, Sarah posted one of her classic guilt trap Facebook statuses. Family vacations just don't feel the same when certain people let their egos ruin the joy for everyone else. I replied with a clean screenshot of her unpaid $3,700 0 cents wedding loan. Neither do wedding loans when certain people forget to pay them back. Post deleted in 5 minutes. But by day 5, something shifted. Something I hadn't expected. Claire's perfect boyfriend Logan messaged me directly. Hey, I didn't realize you paid for this entire trip. Claire said her parents covered it. I feel terrible, honestly. Having separate cabins made me notice things I hadn't before. About Claire. About your whole family dynamic. I'm heading home early. Thanks. For helping me dodge a bullet. I stared at the screen, smiling. I could already imagine Claire's meltdown. Sure enough, an hour later, the group chat exploded. Claire, Logan left. He said the energy was off. This is your fault, Madison. Mom, sweetheart, if we'd just stayed in the main lodge like we originally planned, maybe this wouldn't have happened. I replied, or maybe, if you raise Claire to be less entitled and more self-aware, she wouldn't keep driving people away. On their final day, Dad made one last attempt to smooth things over. He sent a long, heartfelt message about family unity, admitting they'd taken me for granted and promising to do better. I responded with a photo of the brochure for my next trip. I'll be here next week. A quiet cabin with a sunrise view. I'll be hiking, photographing wildlife, and working on my conservation project. I won't be available for pet sitting or emergency loans. For once, I'm putting myself first. The day they got home, I was packing for my trip when I heard a knock. It was Mom. She looked older, tired, unsteady. She held out the cat carrier. "The cat's missed you," she said softly. I took the carrier and set it gently inside. Rocky meowed, rubbing his head against my arm. "You mean you missed having access to my wallet?" I said calmly. She winced. "We deserve that. Claire's been unbearable since Logan left. Sarah's husband won't stop asking about the wedding loan. And your father, he finally told me about the money. The COVID loan, I had no idea." I nodded, letting her words hang in the air. "You know what hurts the most, Mom? It's not the money. It's not even the exclusion. It's that none of you ever saw me, not really." She looked up, tears brimming. "What do you mean?" "My work, my values, the things I've accomplished. You were so busy praising Claire's sponsored posts that you forgot your other daughter was protecting the forests your grandkids will grow up in." She bit her lip. "Can we fix this?" "Maybe, but it doesn't start with a family brunch or a last-minute invite. It starts with respect. With seeing me as your daughter, not just your safety net." She nodded quietly. "Your father showed me the brochure. The conservation project. It sounds amazing. I'd like to understand more about it." It wasn't everything, but it was something. The next week, I arrived at my own cabin, a tranquil place nestled near a pine forest outside Telluride. I snapped a photo of the sunrise and posted it with a caption about biodiversity and climate preservation. Claire unfollowed me within the hour. Sarah made a passive-aggressive comment about solo trips being a little too performative. But Mom liked the photo, and she commented, "Beautiful view, honey. Tell me more about the forest work you're doing out there." And just like that, a seed planted. Sometimes the best family moments aren't posed around fancy dinners or perfectly staged vacations. Sometimes they bloom after you've shaken the foundation of everyone else's perfect plan. I watched as the sun washed the peaks in gold and felt Rocky curl against me, content. For the first time in years, I wasn't waiting to be included. I was simply living fully and freely. And sometimes standing up for yourself means walking away from the role others cast you in, even when that role comes dressed as family. If you've ever felt like the background character in your own family, I hope my story resonates with you. Drop a comment, tell me how you found your voice. Did you ever have to draw a line or walk away just to protect your peace? I'd love to hear your story. And if you believe we all deserve to be seen for more than what we give, hit subscribe. Let's build a space where self-worth isn't optional and boundaries are celebrated. Life's too short to shrink for others. Sometimes choosing yourself is the most powerful act of love there is.